front of the end.
And we're off here in the final section of the 3,200 meters girls championship, 32 here at Running Lane.
The pacing lights are on. They are chasing after him already.
And I think a telling point will be what they come through here in the first lap. That'll give us an indication of whether their intent is to break this record or really is to go for the win.
For sure, that'll dictate it. But upon first glance, I will say it already seems that they're going out pretty quick here, going under the arch here for the first time.
Yeah, this is, they certainly haven't settled yet. I think a lot of them are trying to form their attitude and their position around this race so far. And it's Bonner Dalton and Boucher out in front.
Yep, the two favorites, hip one, hip two, out to the lead early. And they are going to set the tone here for the rest of this race early on.
Yeah, Sorrow in third and Tilly O'Connor, I believe, in fourth. They're all wearing Running Lane singlets for reasons because they are viewed as the top runners here tonight.
That's right. Pack of four here going through 73 seconds, opening 400. It's going to be Mary Bonner Dalton with the advantage there, but Boucher is right there on her shoulder, followed by Sorrow and O'Connor.
Yeah, they are certainly pushing each other in the early stages here. You know, fitness will be ultimately the final decider here if it stays, but I think they're definitely keeping it honest early on.
That's for sure. They're on the pacing lights. They're on pace. And they're really not letting anyone go out to an early lead.
Jillian's really impressive to me because she's not just a 3,200 meter runner. She's run 4:46 for 1,600 meters, and she's got legitimate speed. And that's the kind of stuff that helps win you races like this. The speed that you're going to need when the race kind of starts to get away from you, or if you want to start to make some moves on some of your competitors. But she is on the outside lane right now, so I think you do have to kind of at some point
eventually you gotta tuck in there, or else you're running way more distance than you really need to. But still trying to battle for some position up there up front. Bonner Dalton, Boucher, Sorrow, and O'Connor.
Yeah, Lily Gwynn now making her way up into the ranks now too. Up on the outside of these runners, up on the shoulder. Maddie Garner leading the chase pack there in the white jersey.
Yes, Lily Gwynn here going through stats. Very talented athlete out of Norfolk, Virginia. Jesuit Jr. This year she's gone 4:46 for the full mile. Has not contested a 3,200, so the first of the season for her. But she's obviously shown she has, she's very fit at that mile distance.
I'm sort of surprised, Ashley, a little bit. Bonner Dalton has the inside, and Boucher is running next to her.
She has not decided to tuck in like you normally would.
I mean, she's really on the outside. They're both in lane one, so I think they're still both in on solid ground. But Boucher, rather than make a move on Bonner Dalton, wants to run with her.
It's an interesting tactic here for sure. We'll have to see if it plays off in the end.
So, Allie Zealand in the chase pack here. Not surprising, that is her MO. She's a lot like Brian DeCola in that aspect. Does not really let the race go out, too fast early on. She tends to make things up in the second half. But I would stick on her because I do think she is the type of runner that ultimately always finds herself in, the front.
You're right. I believe, too, even at the Running Lane Cross Country Championships back in December, she was one that really snuck up there in the final bit. So she may be a factor once, we get past the halfway point.
Yeah, that front pack, though, is separating by a pretty decent size at this point, though, so I would be a little bit worried at this point. Right now, yeah. Bonner Dalton has finally kind of chipped away and gotten to the lead here, followed by Boucher and Sorrow, who are running 1, 2, 3 in step.
Still very comfortable here for this pack, looking strong. They've decided this is the pace we're going to settle into. And it's just really a matter of, hey, let's set this pace and see how many girls can hang on and for how long.
Tilly O'Connor is kind of, I think, underrated in some aspects. A senior from St. Rose, a Villanova recruit here that's run 4:46 for 1600 meter. I think she's in fourth, but very clearly has the capability to win this race.
Yes, she is hanging in there, but it is still
What do you,
Bonner Dalton.
Lily Gwynn right now is about a couple meters back from O'Connor. She's kind of in no man's land. What are your thoughts there?
If I'm her, I'm thinking maybe I need to pick up the pace a little bit just to stay in connection, right? Because like you mentioned, you don't want to go into no man's land because then it is so much harder to make up that gap and stay really mentally focused. So she needs to stay in the mix, and right as we mentioned that, she is creeping up a little bit on O'Connor.
Yeah, Bonner, Dalton, and Boucher, Sorrow are still running very well up top. They've let the pace lights get out in front of them. 10:07 is the record here. So they've let them go past them a little bit, but this is a race about winning against your best competition. So Bonner, Dalton, Sorrow, and Boucher now. 1, 2, 3.
Now, I know we haven't mentioned Sorrow yet, but she is a star sophomore out of West Virginia. Is definitely the next up-and-coming talent there. This season, she's gone 10:30 for 3,200. A multi-time state champion at the Class A level. So she's definitely someone that I could potentially see sneaking up for this win, and she's right now trying to stay connected to Bonner Dalton.
Bonner Dalton, though, I think she's making that surge on the group, separating a little bit here with, I think, what, 8:50 to go? She's definitely making a big statement right now with a little bit left. Boucher is starting to lose touch, I think, a little bit of those top two. Has to press a little bit, I think, at this point. Zealand now working her way into fourth.
Bonner Dalton, as you mentioned, she is trying to win this race right now. And as we mentioned, she's from North Carolina. I believe earlier this year I talked to our state editor there, Tommy Delaney, and he told me that this was the year for Mary Bonner Dalton. This was going to be her year. And we can see her potentially run something pretty big here.
I remember Bonner Dalton when she ran that 5K at Adidas Track Nationals 2 years ago, and that was the first time I said, Mary Bonner Dalton, watch out for her. She clearly came in late to RunningLane Track Championships, won a late entry a day before it closed, and hey, she might take this race now.
Well, she ran a 5K indoors this past, a couple months ago, 16:45, so she definitely has that endurance to carry this sort of speed for, that long amount of time.
Absolutely, with a little more than 2 laps to go here, though, starting to pull away.
Going to be Bonner Dalton there, 77-second lap, there. Followed by Alyssa Sorrow, but we are seeing that gap increase.
Do not lose focus on Allie Zealand. Allie Zealand has ever so slightly made up a huge amount of distance on all of her competitors. Only one who's in front of her is Sorrow and Bonner Dalton. If I had to choose in a foot race between Zealand and anyone else, I might take Zealand.
And as you mentioned, this is kind of her MO here. Start off conservative and then try to move your way up. And she's certainly doing that as she inches up on Sorrow and Bonner Dalton.
Zealand, her teammate Kayla Warner won this race last year in a new meet record of 10:07. We are inching into the last lap here. Bonner Dalton in front by about 3 seconds. Zealand now in the position to strike.
This will be a fight to the finish here. 10:55 on the clock there. Going to the final lap for Bonner Dalton. But we're seeing Zealand creeping up on her.
Zealand money time for Zealand. With 300.
She's going to make the move here on the back stretch. Will Bonner Dalton go with her?
That is a clutch move from Allie Zealand, who at one point was back by about 50 to 60 meters.
Talk about some closing speed here, too. I'll be curious to see what this final split is here.
32. She needs a 28 to close on this sub-10. I don't know if she has that, but she's got something left. Allie Zealand, 1:20 to go, and she can see the finish line in her sights.
Here comes Zealand home. She went from the chase back up to the front in just about 800 meters.
One of her first races of the 2023 outdoor season is is going to be a banger here at Running Lane Track Championships. Allie Zealand, take it back because you won the girls 3,200 meters.
And then a new meet record too as well. 10:07 was the record previously. Allie Zealand goes 10:06 here, 10:06:15 to be exact to take the win. Bonner Dolan will hold on for second near a PR, 10:09:19, and then Alyssa Soro will take third in a PR of 10:11:81. I have to know what that last split was there too on that. It looks like she split 69
seconds from Allie Zealand in the final 400 meters.
at the end of a 3,200 too to tap into that speed. Someone's been doing their speed work.
She's been a person to watch for the last 2 years for a reason. More to come from Allie Zealand. Whenever ready.
In the 3,200 meter championship. I need all boys in the 3,200 meter.
She is your winner of the girls Elite 3,200 all the way from Virginia. Allie, talk to us about your strategy for today's 3,200 race.
Well, today, this is my first race of the indoor season. I had some shin since the beginning of the season, so I wasn't able to race. So today I was just kind of going into it, see however I feel, and go with it. And so I just started to hang back at the beginning, and then I felt good, so I just tried to pick off girls the last 2 laps.
When did you feel like was the appropriate time to make that final move? Where maybe after the 2K, when did you feel like that final move?
After the mile, when I felt good, I decided to go for the front group.
All right, Alan, before we let you go, how are you going to celebrate tonight?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm going to go to bed early because I have the mile tomorrow, so get as much rest as I can.
Absolutely. Well, hey guys, you heard it from here with Allie. Back to you, Corey Napoli.
All right, back to you guys.